Hey guys, it's Free Tarot Friday, so let's shuffle the deck, set aside what we think we know so we can have a new experience. Just a reminder that this is what fell out. Tarot is entertainment, so this is fun. So this should bring a smile. This is lighthearted, right? And so I know that some of us are going through very difficult times and some of us are not, but somehow the message of the tarot applies because it represents all of the archetypes and all of the different things that we go through in life. So, whatever message you came for today, I hope that you receive it with a sense of inner peace, a sense of feeling recognized, feeling seen by the unseen world. The Four of Swords is what fell out while I was shuffling. So, an overall message for all of us is to rest this weekend, to give it a rest, to go slow, to unplug, to recharge, um, and to unplug with the purpose of not thinking. You know what I mean? So sometimes I unplug and I'll go read books and I'll go learn how to do something. That's not really unplugging. It's like, how can you take true rest? Shavasana, corpse pose, right? The last pose at the end of your yoga class that helps you practice death. Um, okay, says the Scorpio. Let's look at Aries. What do Aries need to hear this weekend? Okay, so very interesting cards. We've got the Temperance and the Devil card. Temperance says reel it in. What are you reeling in? All of the things that are holding you back, you're obsessing about, that you're thinking too hard about. The devil, the demons. This usually represents sex or money in my readings, but this can be anything that you're having a hard time with, any obstacle, any old pattern, any old problem, something that's really bothering you, weighing you down, something that your mind has been chewing on. It's time to just give it over to this temperance angel of God who says, slow down, moderation in all things, including your thought life. If you're having trouble calming your thoughts, it's the breath that will do that. That's the magic elixir of longevity. It's not a pill, it's not out there, it's your breath that will calm the mind, right? So, all Aries, all everybody, take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Anytime your mind starts going on that cycle, in through the nose, out through the nose, clear and calm the mind. And try to shift your mind to something else. Turn on some music, right? Think of someone else that you could help to get out of your head a little bit. All right, let's clear the deck for Taurus. What do our Taurus friends need to hear? How is it June 25th? We're in a 5-year. So 5 years in numerology, a lot of times you'll get back, to the end of the year and wonder what happened. Like, where did the time go? Fives also push us to our edges. Fives really push our limits. Five can be creative, spontaneity too. But if you're feeling like, how is it June 25th, just like me, just remember that we're in a 5-year, and how can you harness that feeling, that sensation of adventure, instead of being like panicked by it, right? All right, so we're on Taurus. If I would shut up, right? The High Priestess and the Fool. I'm not reading these reversed because I just redid my deck and I know that they're not all reversed here. So the High Priestess and the Fool for Taurus. Both of these cards require some alone time. It's like, get real with yourself. It's like, I feel like you've been kidding yourself in some area, okay? And that the High Priestess is trying to call you back to the truth. All right, that's what it feels like. You can interpret these a lot of different ways, but for me, it feels like, Taurus, where have you been lying to yourself, and where do you need to look at the truth, right? So, food for thought. If it resonates, dig in. If not, look for your moon sign or your rising sign or something else. All right, let's clear the deck for Gemini. What do our Gemini friends need to hear for this weekend? All right, we get the Emperor card and the King of Cups. All right, so, some of you guys are going to be wanting to work this weekend, and just check in with yourself. Is that the most compassionate thing that you can do? Can you divide your time wisely so that there's a little bit of work, but also a little bit of play? Can you come at yourself and your plans with compassion instead of feeling the weight of tasks and duties and responsibilities and social obligations? Can you go a little bit softer, with yourself? What would be most loving for you? Can you be the authority of your own life, right? Of your own time. Okay. Let's clear the deck for Cancer. Clearing the deck for Cancer. Just seeing what our Cancer friends need to hear for the week ahead, the weekend ahead. Clearing for Cancer. Okay. Just infusing this message here. We've got the Six of Wands, like things are moving forward, and the Page of Wands, differently than you thought. Things are moving forward differently than you thought. This could be that you need to rely on the youth for strength, okay? This could mean that you need to ask for help, that you could be like facing a change, like the wheel turns, the wheel turns and you're facing a different season, and you might need some help from a younger person or younger people or a younger team of people. But this looks like positive momentum moving forward with the assistance of the children of our future. Okay, that's a pretty cool message. Let's clear the deck for Leos. Clear the deck for Leos. Okay, 2 did fall over, so I'll snag them. The Strength and the Empress card. All right, so for our Leos watching, maybe you're going through a season where you feel like you've been really, really tested, or that you're having the experience of patience or tolerance, right? And those aren't always what we want, The Empress card reminds us about babies and fertility and marriages and the fun side of life, and the side of life where it's like the spring, the springtime of life. Whereas the Strength card is more like the fall, where we're enduring and we're waiting and we're facing a season of where things are stale and cold and not growing, right? So I would just say, look at this as an opportunity to live your life, You're not getting any younger, right? And so how can you be your most vital self now? How can you experience life in a way that feels that you're being fulfilled creatively, emotionally, and just look for things that don't push your buttons. You know what I mean? All right, let's clear now for Virgo. Clearing the deck for Virgo. What do our Virgos need to hear? Okay, these 3 fill out. Let's see. The 3 of Cups, the Devil, and the Page of Swords. To me, this looks like just kind of relationship drama stuff, right? And so this can be at work or in personal life, or even just with the pets if something's kind of going haywire. You know what I mean? This looks like that you're going to. It almost feels like a setup, really. You know what I mean, Virgo? It feels like you're being set up, and you're making a decision. The Page of Swords. I'm not going to go there again. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to chew on this mentally. I'm not going to give my mind this bone to gnaw on all weekend. I'm going to have a new thought and a new experience. Otherwise, I'm going to get tangled up in this relationship drama. Okay, so new experience is the way out. What is that new experience? Kind of like the Aries reading. It's like, put on some music, change your mind, take a mental diet where if it dips a little bit, don't let it dip for more than 30 or 40 seconds. Like, be aware, like, oops, I'm about to get crazy. I'm about to go nuts on this thing, and I'm going to take a deep breath and do something else instead quickly. Weed the garden. Wash the dog, fold some sheets. Oops, my mind's wandering again. Okay, I'm going to focus on my breath, breathing in and out. I'm going to go for a walk and notice every single flower. I'm going to count to 144 forwards and backwards. You know what I mean? Whatever trick you need to shift your mind from fear and anger and obsessive thinking. Okay? Good message for everyone. That happens to be what we drew for Virgos. All right, let's clear for Libras. Let's clear the deck for our Libra friends. Clearing for our Libras. What do our Libras need to hear? Okay. 10 of Wands and the Magician. All right, so taking on a little too much, it feels like. It feels like things are getting heavy, that you're facing like a lot of activity this weekend. And just remember that your very presence changes everything. Your being in the room, or your being in the middle of all of these activities that you might have lined up, changes everything, right? So you're the yogi, you're the leader, you're the one with the cool, confident presence, right? So influence, I would say, influence the energy around you rather than being had by it, right? Be the influencer, right? Make sure that you've worked out, that you've meditated, that you've had plenty of water, that you're up on your nutrition, that you've slept well before you go into this weekend, so that your positive neutrality will affect. Be the influencer, right? Good message for everybody. That happened to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. After Libra is Scorpio. So let's clear the deck for Scorpio. Clear for Scorpio. And just see what our Scorpio friends need to hear for the weekend ahead. Guys, I finally got stung by a Scorpio. I really thought I was immune. Didn't think it was going to happen. Had a big week of activity out at the ranch. Lots of snakes. And I didn't put gloves on, picked up a pot, and got stung. And it hurt. And then it got tingly for 24 hours. So, very different than a bee sting. And thank you, snakes, for not getting me. But turns out I'm not immune. So let's clear the deck for Scorpio. What do our Scorpio friends need to hear? Got it. Alright, so we get the Four of Coins and the Nine of Cups. Sorry. The Four of Coins and the Nine of Cups. So sometimes things get tight financially and then it ruins everything. It's like you get a little bit worried about a bill, or something, there's something just out of your reach, or there's a debt that you're trying to pay off. And sometimes we can get crazy thinking when we're clinging, you know, when we're grasping, right? So this is a message to stay fluid, to stay flexible, to stay focused on your income producing activities, to guard your money wisely, and to be a wise steward of the land, right? So not just money. This isn't always like money problems. It can also be being a wise steward of your land, your space, your room, your body, your vehicle, your car, right? So using resources wisely, because it does look like you're getting your wish in some form or fashion, right? So we just want to be sure that we are being of service, that we're in the right mojo, so that we are set well to receive some wishes granted, okay? That's kind of a vague reading. It does make sense to me. I do understand it, and I hope any Scorpios watching resonate with it too. Of course, if you want to go deeper, April and Jennifer and I do readings at wiseskiescollective.com, and you can book with us on our services tab. All right, so let's clear for Sagittarius. Let's clear for Sag. See what our Sag friends need to know for the weekend. We got one jumper here. It's the Knight of Cups. All right, let's see if we can get a card for clarity. Okay, and the Chariot. All right. So what do we know about the Knight of Cups? He's just learning how to navigate his emotional world differently, right? His or her. So things are changing on the outside, and you're just starting to notice how you feel. So you can feel into your body. If you don't know how you feel about a situation, if you're just kind of blindly going through life, right, and you're not stopping and processing your feelings, they're getting stuck under there. There's a great book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. All right, and so what we're going to do, instead of ignoring our feelings or saving them up for a rainy day, you know, this is a message to really process, Chariot, to move forward with them, to cry if you need to cry. The cups are very emotional, right? To breathe in and out, to do any grieving or any celebrating that you need to do so that things don't get stuck back here and backlogged. And just also a reminder to breathe into the body and notice, am I clenching? Am I bracing? Does my belly hurt? Is my jaw tight when I think about that subject? Because your body will tell you, right? And if it's like heart forward, leaning in, going open, exciting, eager, eyes open, right? That's a very different body sensation than what I previously described. So just paying attention to your body and then breathing in and out with your own awareness to see what's there, right? Get curious. Get curious about your feelings, right? Get curious about your feelings, and then be willing to purge and flush and purify. Okay. Let's clear the deck for Capricorn. Thank you. Let's clear for Capricorn. What do our Capricorns need to hear for the weekend? Alright, clear for Capricorn. Alright. Two of Coins with a Five of Cups. Alright, so this feels like a decision that comes at a cost. It doesn't feel good. It feels like you're kind of either backed into a corner or that someone is making a decision for you. Alright, and so just trying to remember that you're responsible for how you feel. And if you've gotten yourself into a sticky situation or you're facing a sticky situation, that you alone have the keys to unlock that mental jail cell and experience mental freedom from it, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to ignore the situation. It doesn't mean that we're not going to grieve or be upset about the situation. We're just going to look for a solution that brings us the most amount of peace. Sometimes that means cooperate to graduate, okay? All right, so take that if it works for you, and if it doesn't, listen for your moon sign or your rising sign. Guys, April is teaching us a class on June 30th on how to open the Akashic Records. So if that speaks to you, it's a $20 investment. She's going to sit with us for an hour, hour and a half, and teach us her ways. So I wanted to throw that out there. Also, Jen LeCompte is teaching us a class on nightmares. So we'll have the Nightmare Lab coming up in July. And it's really helpful if you can register early. You can register on the classes tab at wiseskiescollective.com. All right, a little housekeeping. Thank you for your patience. Let's go into Aquarius. Just vibing it out for Aquarius. What do our Aquarius need to hear? All right, it looks like very similar to that initial message of resting and unplugging. It looks like you're just really curious about what's on the other side of the fence over there. But what you really need is some actual alone time. So this is just a reminder that there's nothing out there, that it's all in here, right? So get curious about your own self, your own heart, your own journey, and just really sit with yourself. Now, there's a point at which it's rolling around in your head that it needs to come out onto paper, and after it's out on paper, it's almost like a confession in a way, like something alchemical transforms, getting it from the air realm into the physical realm, and then also sharing those thoughts with another person, getting feedback is a great like relationship tool, so that you're not constantly grading your own paper, that you stay open with childlike curiosity to the possibilities of something that you might be overlooking, right? So there's an exercise for you if you would like, Aquarius. But the main message is get right with yourself, okay? Get right with yourself, and that might require a little space. All right, let's clear the deck for Pisces. What do our Pisces friends need to hear for the weekend? Clear the deck for Pisces. Okay. The Sun and the High Priestess. This just reminds me of being in love with love, being in love with life, being like kind of witchy, and there's like magic and synchronistic moments. This is also about making hay while the sun shines. So my recommendation as a morning person is to not sleep in, is to get up early, to follow the sun, you know what I mean? To get on a different biorhythm, to get on a different pattern that makes you like excited to wake up, I love the summer sun because I can't wait to get up in the morning and get outside and see what the clouds are going to do, right? And this is the same vibe for you, Pisces. It's like let's get up early, let's make hay while the sun shines, let's stay very curious to the synchronicities, and notice what song is playing, notice what magic numbers come up for you. Mine's been 222 lately, and I'll be honest, I don't get that a lot, so that has been unusual for me personally. I don't have Pisces planets or rising or anything like that, but I'm just saying as a personal example, that's kind of what you're looking for. And then you want to go deeper. Like I had a turkey cross the road in front of me, so I wanted to look up what turkey meant. Has to do with gratitude, has to do with community, has to do with the collective, right? My business, right? So for you, it's like notice those little synchronicities, those moments that make you wonder, and go a little bit deeper with it, you know? All right, so notice something that lights you up, and then get curious about it and go deeper. All right, guys, that's it. If you want to see the July forecast, it's out at wiseskiescollective.com. If you, the podcast is also up. I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, and you know, just if you're new here, welcome to Wise Skies. I'm Tiffany. We do this every Friday at noon Central Time, and I hope everybody has an awesome weekend until we can work together one-on-one or as a group in the class. Guys, namaste. Stay safe.